There are moments in history that vanish quietly, without explanation. Events that leave no witnesses, no photographs, only questions. They happen, and then they are gone, leaving behind nothing but a faint echo, a hum that refuses to die. One of those moments happened in 1977, in the quiet pine forests of Georgia, at a place called Fort Benning. It was a routine night exercise that became one of the strangest military mysteries in American history. Soldiers reported lights that had no source. Radios stopped. Watches froze. An entire hour of time disappeared. For decades, the event was erased from official records, but fragments survived: diaries, declassified files, and the haunted memories of the men who were there. Before we begin, tell me, what time is it where you are listening from? Are you hearing this in the daylight, when everything seems explainable? Or is it the middle of the night, when the house is quiet and your mind begins to wander? Wherever you are, whatever time it is, this is your invitation to step into a story that time itself forgot. This is the Fort Benning incident. Fort Benning, Georgia, September 18th, 1977. It began as a simple exercise. Delta Company, 1st Battalion, 13th Infantry Regiment. Their orders were to perform a night maneuver, navigate a wooded area, locate 3 checkpoints, maintain radio contact every 30 minutes, and return to base before midnight. It was a standard operation, one Captain David Holmes had conducted many times before. Holmes was disciplined and calm, the kind of officer whose steady voice could hold men together in chaos. His second-in-command, Sergeant Daniel Lewis, logged everything: weather, terrain, timing. The men under them were young, eager, and precise. They trusted their leader, and they trusted the system. The night began uneventfully. The air was cool and clear, the forest alive with insects and distant birds. At 9:05 p.m., the first irregularity appeared. Static bled into the radios. The signal warped, like voices buried underwater. Then silence. Holmes switched frequencies. Nothing. No contact with command. No signal from other squads. Private Michael Johnson, one of the youngest recruits, noted in his field book, "The forest has gone still. It feels like the air is listening." At 9:17 p.m., a light appeared above the tree line, white, sharp, and silent. Not bright enough to blind, but bright enough to claim attention. At first, Holmes assumed it was a flare. It was not falling. It was not moving. It was hovering. He ordered the men to hold position, but they could not. Their bodies were heavy, slow, disconnected. Holmes reached for his radio, and his arm refused to obey. He could still breathe, but even the air seemed dense, vibrating with a low mechanical hum. A soldier tried to shout. The sound came out distorted, muffled by psalm. When awareness returned, the light was gone. The forest was dark again. The men were standing in the same formation. The hum was silent. Holmes looked at his watch. 10:19 p.m. Every other soldier's watch read 9:17. Exactly 62 minutes were missing. They returned to base in confusion. Radio logs contained no interruptions. Power systems had been stable. The tapes that should have captured transmissions from that hour were blank, not erased, simply empty. The following morning, dozens of soldiers reported headaches, nausea, disorientation, and a metallic taste in their mouths. Dr. Harold Keene examined them. Symptoms consistent with mild radiation exposure, he wrote. No burns, no tissue damage. Neural synchronization across multiple subjects. Within hours, unmarked vehicles arrived. Men without insignia collected every piece of equipment, every notebook, every film reel. When Sergeant Lewis asked who they were, one replied, "We are here to clean the noise." By nightfall, every soldier signed a confidentiality agreement. The phrase Fort Benning incident never appeared in writing. Officially, nothing had happened, but silence does not erase memory. It amplifies it. In the weeks that followed, strange reports spread through the base. Soldiers said they were losing time. One man claimed he drove home in 20 minutes and arrived 2 hours later. Another woke up standing in his kitchen, unsure how he had gotten there. Private Johnson stopped sleeping. He told the chaplain that the night felt unfinished. "It is not fear," he said. "It is like something from that hour is still waiting for me." 2 weeks later, Johnson vanished. His car was found running by the highway, the engine idle, the radio tuned to static. Officially, it was recorded as desertion. Unofficially, no one believed that. Years passed. The event faded from conversation, but not from the ground itself. In 1988, researchers studying residual magnetism discovered that the soil at Delta Range was polarized opposite to the planet's magnetic field. No natural explanation was found. In 1992, a communications engineer scanning the region recorded low-frequency vibrations between 15 and 19 hertz, too deep to hear, but strong enough to be felt. The pattern repeated every 61 minutes. In 2001, physicist Evelyn Hart analyzed the data. "This was not electrical," she said. "It was environmental." The field itself was bending. When asked to clarify, she said time stuttered. By 2015, the incident had become a myth. Some called it the missing hour. Others believed it was the result of a secret weapons test. The Army said nothing. That same year, a surviving witness came forward. It was Michael Johnson. Old now, frail, still haunted. "We did not see a ship," he said. "We saw everything stop, like the world forgot to breathe." When asked if he still heard the hum, he nodded. It never really left. 3 weeks later, he died in his sleep. A single note was found beside his bed. "Still here." In 2028, newly declassified documents mentioned a coherent field anomaly at Fort Benning, describing complete acoustic null for approximately 61 minutes. The report ended abruptly, signed only with the initials P.E. Physicists today call the phenomenon a temporal echo, a moment where the structure of time folds in on itself. Dr. Sophia Lin explained it this way: "When environment and human perception align in perfect resonance, reality loses synchronization." Fort Benning was not an event, it was a pause. Even now, residents near the base report strange things. Radios hiss at 9:17 p.m. Watches stop, the air thickens, birds fall silent. The field itself is closed to the public. Fenced, unmarked, unacknowledged, grass grows over the soil, but animals avoid the center. If you stand there at dusk, the air feels charged. Some say you can feel the hum through your shoes. Scientists have tried to explain it. None agree. Some believe it is geological resonance. Others suspect a classified electromagnetic test. A few say it is something the Earth itself remembers. 50 years have passed, and still the question remains, what happened during that missing hour? Captain Holmes retired in 1981 and died 8 years later. His final journal reads, "If silence has a shape, it moves when you are not watching." Historians call Fort Benning a failure of record. Physicists call it an anomaly. The men who lived it called it the silence. Whatever it was, it changed them. If you visit Fort Benning today, the field looks ordinary: pine trees, open grass, a faint road cutting through the soil. But if you wait long enough, when the light fades and the wind dies, there is a moment when everything feels suspended. The world pauses. The air vibrates. It does not last long, maybe a second, maybe less, but in that brief stillness, you can almost feel it, the missing hour breathing just beneath the surface. Every generation has its mysteries. This one belongs to time itself. So as you listen now, wherever you are, ask yourself once more, what time is it? Because at Fort Benning, time did not pass. It paused, it waited, and for one impossible hour in 1977, it forgot to start again.